If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Valencia career mode here on FIFA 16. Thank you for your incredible support over episodes 1 and 2. This is obviously being recorded post you seeing both of those videos. If you drop this video a like as well if you enjoy, that would be absolutely fantastic. We have listed Barahan on the transfer market. You guys were adamant, absolutely certain that we needed a new right back. 90% of the comment section on episodes 1 and 2 were Ches, sell Barahan, you could probably do with a new right back. Ches, buy a new right back. I tell you what, Ches, here's a good transfer suggestion. Buy a new right back. Okay, I'll buy a new right back. Hector Bellerin was the most popular suggestion, although a little bit obvious. Hugo Mayo was also very popular and probably my favourite of the 4 listed here. Fabinho and Ivan Lopez are another 2 youngsters, both 21 years of age, I believe. Would prefer, with this series, to try and keep it kind of realistic and buy either domestic players or Spanish players, or maybe players from, what's the word I'm looking for? South American origin. So whether they're from the South American leagues or not necessarily important, but kind of Brazilians, Argentinians, Spaniards, and maybe the odd Portuguese player or so, which is why we're looking at William Carvalho in that holding role. We're looking at some centre-backs as well. Like I said, looking for perhaps a rotation centre-back rather than an out-and-out first teamer, but we are looking at Javi Martinez. And there was a couple of inspirational comments in episodes 1 and 2 as well, saying, Ches, why not try and bring back David Silva or Juan Mata to Valencia? So I'm going to have a look at David Silva. I absolutely adore David Silva in real life and on FIFA. The past few years he's been absolutely incredible in game, and obviously in real life he just goes from strength to strength season on season. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get any top youth scouts in the RTG series. We were offered 4 and 5 star scouts left, right and centre, but for some reason in this particular save I can't really get anyone more than 3 stars, which is quite disappointing. But we're offering some money now for some of the players that we were looking at on that shortlist. I'm still waiting for a couple of scout reports to come back, so I'm not going to confirm anything as of yet. And like I say, I would prefer Hugo Mayo at right back, although Hector Bellerin would be a fantastic option. For some reason, Arsenal in career mode seem to be quite open to selling Hector Bellerin on the cheap, which completely baffles me, considering he's been their one of their best players all season in real life, and they're definitely won't be accepting offers of, the £6 to £8 million mark, which is what has been recommended to me by you guys in the comments. But Hugo Mayo, we're offering £7.5 million for. He would be the most realistic, I believe, at right back, a Spaniard of a smaller side in La Liga that has been performing well and has the opportunity to step up a level and come to Valencia. Offering for Bellerin as well. Levante are certain that they don't want to let their youngster come to me, but Javi Martinez, they want 27.5. Not going to give you £27.5 million for Javi Martinez, although he could play at centre-back and CDM, so he would be quite versatile, so maybe I might be willing to pay a little bit more for him. Ander Iturraspe is a player that consistently gets overlooked in career mode, despite the fact he is a phenomenal talent. So I would be very keen on bringing Ander Iturraspe in if I potentially could as well, although Athletic Bilbao would probably be pretty against selling me one of their best holding midfielders to a direct rival in the league. Fiorentina here in the semi-final of the pre-season tournament, playing a Christmas tree formation, a 3-4-2-1 with their very best players up top, with obviously the likes of Giuseppe Rossi and Babacar, etc., the 2 strikers. But how is this remove? Ilicic to Rossi, then to Ilicic, and that first time ball completely sold me. The first time ball there from Ilicic to play it around the corner in between the centre-back and the right-back there. Absolutely brilliant. That pass was world class, and it was a brilliant finish from Rossi as well, on his weak foot as well on the right hand side. We're immediately on the back foot here against the Italians. Babacar's going to play it out wide to Borja Valero, slots it into Ilicic, sells the defender, turns inside, 2-0 down after 24 minutes. Right then, that's not what we want from this game, is it? We want to go to at least the final in this competition, if not replicate what we did in the RTG and win the pre-season tournament. Zakaria Bakali coming down the right-hand side. Barahan, the player that's probably going to leave us sooner rather than later, gives it back to Bakali around the corner to Enzo Perez, who's been very impressive in this opening pre-season tournament. I think that's his 3rd goal of the tournament so far in the 4 games that he's played, and that brings us back into the game just before half-time. However, just after half-time, Błaszczykowski, as I was trying to, stop him from being able to pass it to Babacar at the near post, drills it to the back post to Giuseppe Rossi, who loses his marker and pops it into the back of the net to make it 3-1 Fiorentina. Well then, that's not exactly what we wanted to happen again. So, we'll try and get ourselves back in it, shall we? Enzo Perez around the corner to Danny Parejo. Immediately after going 3-1 down, we peg it back to 3-2. Exquisite finish from Danny Parejo. He is so good on this game. I've been absolutely spellbound by Danny Carvajal, by Danny Parejo so far this season. He's been fantastic. Speaking of Danny Carvajal, that's why his name was in my head. He was highly suggested at right back, but I'm not going to go for him. I've used him previously at Chelsea in FIFA 15, and I'd just like to sign someone else, to be honest, because he's kind of the obvious signing. He and Hector Bellerin are the obvious signings, but we bring it back to 3-3 thanks to De Paul on the 75th minute, and it ended up going to penalties. So 3-3 after full time. Enzo Perez buries his pen, so we get off to a great start in the penalty shootout. Giuseppe Rossi scored 2 in open play and then scores his penalty as well. We're going to speed up the penalty shootout, obviously, so we don't have to spend too much time watching penalties go in, but they miss their second penalty. Mina then steps up to score his third, and then it's Ilicic's turn. He scored in open play, but misses his pen as well. So now it's a simple case for Orban, the left back, who actually very much impressed me in this game. Despite conceding 3 goals, he was really, really impressive. There were a few calls for me to sell him on as well in the comment section, but after playing with him, I really don't want to sell him on. He was particularly quite solid on that left-hand side, and I was really impressed with him. So he and Gaia are going to be our 2 left-backs we have. We're going to be moving on Barahan, and João Cancelo will probably have to take a rotation spot. We did get an injured player there. Unfortunately, Alvaro Negredo bruised his shoulder and will be out for 9 days, so he'll miss the final. But that's not to worry. We're still trying to work out deals for Fabinho, as you can see, and there are a few more deals we're still trying to nail down. We had an offer accepted for Hector Bellerin, as you'll see in a moment. Still trying to work out a deal for Javi Martinez, potentially. Here is the Hector Bellerin deal. They accepted like £6 million, which is just stupid of Arsenal. It really is. We're offering him a contract of £50,000 a week. But like I say, Hugo Mayo is the more favourable option for me there. I know Hector Bellerin would be the more popular and the more obvious, but I think Hugo Mayo is the more realistic, and I would like to keep it a little bit more realistic than perhaps some of my other series have been this year, with Neymar and Bale arriving at Chelsea, etc. Thiago Alcantara would be a great signing, though, as well. Still thinking about moving the midfield 3 around. I still want to stick with a 4-3-3, but thinking about playing 2 centre mids and a cam, or 2 CDMs and a CM. Haven't quite decided yet. Going to stick with the same formation, though, that we have been playing recently for the final here in the Champions Trophy against Zenit St. Petersburg. We are looking at Ignacio Camacho as well in the central midfield spot. We're offering deals for him. And there's another youngster called Recio who was suggested to me. I don't know anything about him. Apparently he's got quite good potential, so I'm waiting to see what the scout report says on him, whilst offering a couple of bids in as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Not really too sure what the man trying to clear the header was doing there, so they're actually going to attack again here. Nice turn by Zuba. I think the turn was initially meant for himself, but it ended up going to a teammate, Matt Ryan, though, making a good save, which is nice considering against Zenit in the group stage he made a rather awkward attempted save from their opening goal. We did draw 1-1, of course, against Zenit in the group stage. We'll try and obviously avoid that this time around. Sofiane Feghouli trying to give us a 1-0 lead, but Lodejan, the goalkeeper, is able to keep us out. We get a free kick, though, just at the beginning of the second half. Danny Parejo's going to try and drop it around about the 6-yard box, actually on the penalty spot by the time Rodrigo wins the header, and that is a textbook set piece. Wonderful lofted ball in by Danny Parejo, who has a wonderful delivery and a great shot from a dead ball situation as well. He's gotten a couple of assists for us now in this pre-season alone, and that previous goal in the game in the semi-final. Lovely header by Rodrigo, though. Nothing the keeper could do about that. We will definitely take a 1-0 lead. We'll try and get ourselves a 2-0 lead, if we can. Javi Fuego with this shot, well blocked by Shatov. We'll have another corner. Danny Parejo trying to utilise this ball to the edge of the box again. For some reason, despite using it last time, they still left Javi Fuego free. Great shot, and it cannons back off the top of the bar. Clips the bar on its way over the top and out for a goal kick. Javi Fuego, desperately unlucky. For some reason, we get a free kick there. Not really too sure what for. Paco Alcacer, though, will pick it up, have the shot. Great save down low by Lodejan. Right then, let's have another corner. Are they going to leave Javi Fuego free on the edge of the box for a third time? They are. Can we finally punish them with this set piece? Javi Fuego tries a finesse this time. Lodejan still there to make the save. So we're still 1-0 up though. Mustafi gets caught on the ball though by Anyukov. Zuba's going to push down the left-hand side. Completely sell Mustafi here with the turn inside. Really well done. Going to send another defender, play it into Fayzulin, who, well, that's a rather fantastic goal, isn't it? You don't mind conceding an equaliser when it's of that quality. Brilliant run by Zuba on the left-hand side. Shouldn't have dived in there with Mustafi. That's my mistake. But the finish from Fayzulin, the back heel underneath the goalkeeper into the bottom corner, is world class. Then with barely any time left in the game, their turn for a corner. We've obviously had 3, not been able to get a goal. Their first corner of the game, and Lombard scores it. Fantastic, we're 2-1 down in stoppage time at the very end of the game, and that means that Zenit St. Petersburg are going to win themselves the Champions Trophy. I was disappointed to lose, but the overall performance was definitely much better than the first game we played against Zenit, so I'm overall pleased with the pre-season tournament. We've clearly seen where the strengths are in the side, we've clearly seen where the weaknesses are in the side. And I feel quite comfortable now pushing into the domestic and European season with high spirits as to what we can potentially do this year here at Valencia. Still trying to work out a deal for Hugo Mayo. £9 million is what we're offering him now. Hector Bellerin, I believe, did accept the contract offer, but I'm holding off there. Just stalling it to make sure we have all of our options open. Training some of the youngsters as well here to make sure that they continue to grow, as well as bringing in a couple of youngsters as well. Waiting to see what happens with youth scouts. There is a big gap now until the first league game of the season against Rayo Vallecano. So, as was the case, or as is the case with the RTG, there might be a transfers only episode with no gameplay in it, almost certainly for this series, considering the full month we have before the next game we have to play. So the next episode tomorrow will probably be transfers only, and then we may even have transfers only on Friday, depending on what happens in tomorrow's episode. I haven't as of yet recorded it, but I would like to get some gameplay in before the end of the week in this series. Obviously this one is uploaded weekdays, and the RTG and My Player are uploaded weekday evenings and at the weekend as well. If you don't know what and when I upload, by the way, with 2 new series starting, check the description or the About tab on the channel page for my upload schedule, and you'll be able to see exactly what goes on and when videos go live. For now, though, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like, as always, if you enjoyed. That'd be fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't already. We've seen a boost in growth, actually, thanks to the start of the 2 new series, so welcome to those of you that have arrived thanks to the 2 new series. I really appreciate the support, and those of you that have continued to support the channel throughout the entirety of its lifespan. I really appreciate the long-term support from you guys as well. So that will be it. That will be it for now. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram and Facebook. Links are in the description and on screen. And obviously check out the No ID merchandise store as well if you'd like to pick yourself up a t-shirt. But that is all for this afternoon. I'll see you tonight with an RTG episode. Ta-ra.